Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise on issues that, well, really matter. Today, we're looking into something incredibly significant and, frankly, quite disturbing. It affects so many people looking for international opportunities. We're talking about a major crackdown on visa fraud networks. And just so you know, the insights we're sharing today come directly from our own work and investigations here at Verge. We want to make sure this is clear and actionable for you.
Absolutely. And understanding these kinds of deceptive practices is just paramount for anyone navigating the, let's face it, complex world of international visas. It's not just knowing the rules. It's also about spotting the traps, protecting yourself, really, safeguarding those future plans.
Okay, so let's unpack this. What's come out of this investigation? It isn't just a few bad apples. It's like a blueprint for how a pretty sophisticated network operates. The really big news here is quite striking. The Enforcement Directorate, the ED, they've uncovered a major network, agents based in Punjab apparently facilitating U.S. visas using deeply fraudulent methods. And we're not talking small errors here. This seems to be a highly organized operation built on, well, outright lies.
What's truly insightful, I think, is the sheer scale and the audacity of it all. This investigation has really shone a bright, uncomfortable light on these unethical practices that have unfortunately kind of embedded themselves in parts of the immigration consultancy industry. And it's not just the U.S. visa process either. We're seeing hints that these tactics might be spilling over into applications for places like the U.K. and Canada, too. It suggests a common playbook of exploitation.
Right. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. The methods, how they actually tried to pull the wool over the eyes of embassy officials, it was incredibly brazen. Let's break down how they apparently did it. First off, financial manipulation. Big time. Agents were reportedly offering large sums of money to applicants, kind of like a loan, on a commission basis. This money wasn't real, lasting stability. It was just strategically placed in bank accounts to create this illusion of financial health, which is, as you know, a key requirement for a U.S. visa. Almost like a stage prop, Put it there for the show, then take it away right after.
Exactly. That illusion is critical. And as the probes suggest with companies like InfoWiz Software Solution and Overseas Partner, they weren't just faking the money, they were sometimes forging the applicant's identity. InfoWiz, for instance, has been accused of producing forged documents, specifically things like fake birth certificates. Then you have Overseas Partner education consultants. They're reportedly extending these short-term sort of show money loans to clients, just enough to meet those minimum financial requirements. It really drives home how powerful the dream of international opportunity is, but also, the shocking lengths some will go to exploit that dream.
Shocking is the word. And beyond the money games, these networks were also apparently dealing in completely forged documents and fabricated experience, providing fake educational certificates or professional experience letters to applicants who otherwise wouldn't stand a chance of qualifying. And the fee for this service, we learned it varied depending on how much education or work experience needed to be faked. Like a bespoke deception package.
Just tailor-made to cheat the system.
Precisely.
So the probe, as it stands, seems to be focusing on 3 Punjab-based firms: Red Leaf Immigration Private Limited, Overseas Partner Education Consultants, and that InfoWiz Software Solution. There were searches conducted at their offices in Chandigarh and Ludhiana. Officials are suggesting that while these places might have operated somewhat independently, they were all involved in this clear pattern of deceit, maybe even coordinating sometimes.
So it sounds like Red Leaf Immigration might have been sort of a central hub in this.
That's the allegation, yes. Red Leaf is alleged to have acted as a key coordinator, managing a whole network of intermediaries, all to manipulate the visa process. So this points towards something more sophisticated than just isolated incidents. It really raises the question, doesn't it, about how extensive these illegal operations actually are. And the whole thing kicked off because of first information reports, FIRs filed by police in Delhi and Punjab, acting on complaints that came directly from the U.S. Embassy.
The embassy itself flagged it.
Yes. And Punjab police had actually already booked 7 individuals and entities back in September, including Red Leaf and Overseas Partner, on various visa fraud charges. So this ED action builds on that.
Okay, so these recent raids by the ED, what did they actually turn up? Was it just cash, or did they find proof of the scale of it all?
Oh, definitely more than just cash. They seized, I think the figure was 19 lakh in cash, yes. But also numerous digital devices, phones, computers, that sort of thing, and a whole trove of incriminating documents. And the preliminary findings, they strongly suggest that the money made from these illegal activities was being used to buy assets, funneled through various bank accounts to try and hide it. It points to a pretty sophisticated scheme to launder the proceeds, going way beyond simple individual acts of fraud.
Right, a serious operation. So let's bring this back to our listener. What does all this mean for you, especially if you're maybe thinking about applying for a visa or you're already in the process? This whole situation, this deep dive into the fraud network, it really underscores the critical risks, the severe, potentially life-altering consequences of getting involved knowingly or even unknowingly with these kinds of schemes. It just hammers home how incredibly important it is to stick to legitimate, honest practices when you're applying for any international visa.
Absolutely. For you, our listeners, navigating this already complex landscape, this investigation is a stark reminder. You constantly need to be aware of and adapt to the newest tricks fraudsters might use. Genuine financial stability, authentic documents, experience you actually have and can verify. These aren't just suggestions. They are the absolute bedrock for a successful, legitimate visa application. And the risks of cutting corners, using deception, they go way beyond just legal trouble. It can completely torpedo your future chances of traveling or living abroad, anywhere.
So what are the practical steps then? What should people look out for?
Okay, good question. Practically, for your journey, it means always do your homework. First, verify any consultant's credentials. Check with official regulatory bodies if they exist. Don't just take their word for it. Second, be immediately suspicious if anyone offers to loan you money just for your bank statement or guarantees they can provide documents you don't actually qualify for. Huge red flags. Third, cross-reference everything. Any advice you get, check it against the official embassy or government websites for that country. They are the final authority. These fraudsters are clever. They exploit the trust that the system relies on. Understanding that helps you stay safe.
That's really crucial advice. So the key takeaway from all this, from our deep dive today, is the absolute necessity of vigilance and integrity throughout the entire visa application process. Always seek out legitimate channels, official information. Don't get tempted by shortcuts. They promise an easy path, but honestly, they can lead to devastating outcomes, legally and for your whole future.
And maybe consider this too. The long-term health, the integrity of the whole global immigration system depends on everyone playing fair. Building your future abroad has to be based on truth. That's the only way it lasts. And for student visa aspirants specifically, thinking about showing financials. The core idea is genuine stability, organically. Avoid those sudden large deposits or loans that aren't really yours. Show consistent funds over a reasonable period. Make sure every single document, bank statements, educational certificates, employment letters, everything is completely authentic and verifiable. Immigration officials are looking for that genuine, organic picture. That's what builds trust.
Excellent points. Honesty really is the only policy here. All the best, and we will meet again with another important subject in the next meeting.